Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist. I own 52 units of real estate, and I help coach people to buy their first multifamily deal. So today I want to share how I'm 34 years old. I'm tired, I'm bored, and I don't think I achieved what I thought I would achieve at this time. So it's an interesting juxtaposition, and welcome to being human. But obviously, if you were to tell me at 20 years old or even 25 years old that by, let's just call it 35, because I'm almost 35, that I would own 52 units of real estate, that cash flow net $8,000 a month, be worth $6.2 million, and have a high income W-2, and live in the beautiful house, I'd be like, damn, I must be set. I must have everything in order, and life must be good at this point, right? So for me, it's just really about the mindset. Like for me, I feel like I've always been trying to achieve stuff, and like 10 years ago, it seemed amazing. But today, after you achieve it, you realize how it just feels good for like a week or two, and then it starts to feel underwhelming again. So that's kind of the journey I've been sharing. So why I'm sharing this, yes, it may seem annoying, like, oh, like, who are you? Shut up. Like, you own real estate, you have a nice net worth. But why I'm sharing this is because even as somebody who has achieved all this wealth, all this knowledge, and I guess I'm pretty up there in terms of net worth, but that's not everything there is to life. Right? I still go to work just like you, like most people. I still have to be stuck in an hour commute. I still have to report to a boss. I have to deal with people at work that you may or may not like. And just like you, I get home drained, have 4 hours a day to work. So what makes it even more confusing or fucked up for me is like I'm worth $6.2 million, yet I live like I'm everyone else. So it's creating this weird juxtaposition in my mind. Obviously I could just sell all the real estate, take whatever money's left after tax, and be done, right? And I plan on doing that in 4 to 5 years once I have a kid and a family. But the FOMO side of me is like, well, why not just quit now? Or retire now, not quit, but retire, and then just travel the world before I have kids. And for better or for worse, I'm too practical for that, even though all the numbers make sense. And I know that if I leave my job, it's harder to find another job. It's not impossible, but it's definitely harder. So that's what's kind of creating with me, and it's kind of like the golden handcuffs of owning a W-2 and building a decent net worth. And I live in an expensive area, being here in Los Angeles. So, obviously, no matter if you're rich or you're poor, or had net worth or no net worth, people are always stressed about something, right? And myself included. But a lot of people, like, they're worth hundreds of millions, and you think, like, what are they stressed out about? But you just pivot on what you're stressed out about. And, obviously it's a privilege that comes with that. And, but people, we're human. We are wired for negativity. We're wired for stress. We're wired for comparison. Like, if you're worth 100 million, but you're hanging around a bunch of billionaires, you're going to feel poor. If you're a millionaire and you're surrounded by a bunch of people in credit card debt, you're going to feel rich. But if you're a millionaire in California, that's not enough to fully quit yet, right? So that's why I wanted to really share all this. It's very eye-opening for me. It hit me kind of hard. Just like, wow, I, by all metrics, have everything I ever wanted. But yet, you still want more. And that's maybe my blessing and my curse. You can check out this view behind me here. But that's my blessing and my curse. Like, it's helped me build my net worth. But at the same time, it's my same crutch. So I'm sharing all this to say that, what got you there to your first level is what you have to get rid of in order to go to the next level above that. So what I've done helped me build a $6 million net worth, and probably is going to help me retire. But if I want to get to that next level where I am, let's just say I want to live more lavishly, or I want to be able to like travel more fancy, or eat nicer stuff, I have to change my habit. And to me, honestly, what I think it's holding me back, and it's probably fear, it's my W-2 job. Because you're used to getting that paycheck every 2 weeks. I've been getting a paycheck every 2 weeks for 13 years, and it's hard to give that up. It's hard to give up your health benefits. It's hard to give up your PTO. It's hard to give up your sick leave. It's hard to give up these coworkers that you see a lot, but you may not necessarily be friends with. So that's why it's very interesting for me in this perspective, and why I want to share it. And because like there's this book, I forgot, like you have to give up 80% of yourself to change your identity to elevate to that next level. So my current identity probably just get me to like 10 million, which is good, right? I mean, I'll get there eventually. But if I want to live and do new things, and I suffer from FOMO, right? Like I know, like, okay, if I quit my job and I travel the world for a year, after a while I'd be like, this is kind of boring. I kind of miss work, right? So it's kind of like this weird catch-22, and probably the millennial curse, if I were to describe one, for better or for worse. But that's really how life is. Like, you accomplish one thing, you bask in it for like a week or two, feel good, and after that you forget about it and you move on. Like, what's the next thing, right? So kind of knowing that's why I always try to be myself when I live, right? Like, I'm always 100% myself. And obviously sometimes it gets you burned when you're at work at a W-2. So I just speak less at work unless they ask me, and I'll give short answers. A lot more transparent online and in person, obviously. But yeah, it's just quite interesting seeing that. And by objective means, I never would have thought I got this far. But at the same time, I got this far, and it feels a little bit underwhelming to me. So kind of answers my question as to, I used to wonder, why do people still work when they're worth hundreds of millions? Like Tom Brady, he's worth a lot of money, and he still works. Like, he still does everything on Fox and news and all that. So it's quite interesting to see that perspective. And he's just doing it because he likes to do it, and that's the difference. Is it's a choice to do it. So I'm very curious to see what my next evolution is going to be once I step away from my W-2, once my identity fully steps away from being a pharmacist, once my identity steps away from being W-2, and like, what's that next level? You know what I mean? Like, is it me? I love to teach, I love to learn. That'll never change. I love to self-reflect and share my journey. I think that will never change. And I like to just try new things, right? Whether it's a new restaurant, traveling to a new place, and just really absorbing in that area. And for me, I like very quiet, peaceful days where you spend the first half of the day learning something, teaching, coaching, maybe selling some real estate, and then you spend the rest of the day just doing what you want. And for me, it's like physical fitness. Like, I'm walking back from the gym, and basically being able to like not sit in traffic and hang out with people I want to hang out with, and make connections. Because obviously if you lose your W-2 job, you lose a lot of social connections, but we're human. We'll adapt, and we'll make new social connections that make up for it. So that's really what I'm thinking. And so, kind of rambling here, and like I said, 35 years old, accomplished a lot, but at the same time I feel exactly the same. And what's weird is, like, I don't really think what I did was that impressive, to be honest. And I think it's pretty replicable for anyone who has a decent W-2. I mean, my W-2 is higher than most, but I live in a more expensive area than most. So you just extrapolate out, you can make less than me, but if you live in a cheaper area, you're at that same margin. So I feel like my system is pretty repeatable. And boring works. I hate to say it, but boring works. There's no such thing as get rich quick. There's no such thing as get rich quick schemes. If people are selling you that, they're making money selling you that, it's really a grind. It's making mistakes, and it's learning from those mistakes. And what's funny is I remember my failures more vividly than I do my successes, because that's how the human brain is wired. That's how we're definitely wired. And I remember vividly me losing money at my mobile home park. I remember vividly me failing my Amazon drop shipping store. I remember vividly my pharmacy failing. I remember me getting fired more so than I do me, buying a 26 unit and making it successful. Me getting a 20 unit and making it successful. And, just doing all the above. So that's what's really interesting. I remember my failures more than my wins, and that's just the way I'm wired, unfortunately. Maybe because I'm wired that way, it makes me more prone to like building success and all that. So it's quite interesting revelation that I had recently. And like I said, regardless of what part you're on the journey, regardless of your age, regardless of your net worth, everyone deals with the same shit, right? It doesn't matter like what are you stressed about. Like people who are worth hundreds of millions, they stress about things. People who are paycheck to paycheck, credit card debt, they're stressed about things. It's just what do you choose to stress about, and can you live life on your terms? So that's the way I kind of view it, is like, can I live life on my terms, and do I have that freedom and option to do what I want when I want? And for me, that's probably the most important thing in this wealth building journey, and that's why I'm doing it, to be honest. So just kind of want to share my thoughts as I walk back home. But anyways, if you want to learn how to buy some multifamily real estate with some guidance, check out the link down below. I have one-on-one coaching. Otherwise, please like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you next one. Thank you so much.